The whistleblower who exposed the $100 billion hedge fund of the Mormon Church is David Nielsen, a former senior portfolio manager at Ensign Peak Advisors, the investment arm of the church. Nielsen worked at Ensign Peak Advisors from 2010 to 2019, managing fixed income portfolios and overseeing private equity investments. He had a successful career in finance, working for prestigious firms like Goldman Sachs and D. Shaw & Co. before joining Ensign Peak Advisors. Nielsen's motivation for blowing the whistle was his concern about the lack of transparency and accountability of Ensign Peak Advisors and its use of church members' tithes and donations. He felt that the church was violating its tax-exempt status by accumulating massive wealth without spending any money on charitable purposes. He also believed that the church was misleading its members and the public about its financial situation and its involvement in controversial businesses like fossil fuels, pharmaceuticals, and weapons. Nielsen decided to file a complaint with the IRS in 2019, alleging that Ensign Peak Advisors had committed tax fraud and evaded more than $20 billion in taxes over 22 years. He also provided evidence of false statements, systematic accounting fraud, and violations of tax laws and other federal statutes by Ensign Peak Advisors and its management. He hoped that his complaint would trigger an investigation by the IRS and the Department of Justice, and that the church would be held accountable for its actions. Nielsen's complaint was leaked to the media in December 2019, sparking a firestorm of debate and controversy about the church's finances and practices. Nielsen also submitted his complaint to the U.S. Senate Finance Committee and its Subcommittee on Taxes and IRS Oversight in January 2023, urging them to investigate the church for tax fraud. He has since been featured on CBS's 60 Minutes and other media outlets, sharing his story and his evidence with the world. Nielsen's whistleblowing has been met with mixed reactions from the public and from church members. Some have praised him for his courage and integrity, while others have criticized him for his betrayal and disloyalty. Nielsen has faced personal and professional challenges as a result of his whistleblowing, including threats, lawsuits, and ostracism from his family and community. He has also received support from other whistleblowers, activists, and lawyers who have helped him with his case. Nielsen's whistleblowing has exposed a hidden side of the Mormon Church that many people were unaware of or ignored. It has raised important questions about the Church's role in society, its responsibility to its members and to humanity, and its compliance with the law. It has also challenged the Church to be more transparent, accountable, and ethical in its financial dealings and decision-making. The Mormon Church, officially known as the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, claims to be a charitable organization that uses its funds to support its members in humanitarian causes around the world. But a whistleblower has exposed a shocking truth: the church has been hoarding billions of dollars in accounts that are supposed to be used for charity, but have not spent any of it on charitable purposes for over 2 decades. The whistleblower is David Nielsen, a former senior portfolio manager who worked at Ensign Peak Advisors, the investment arm of the church. He filed a complaint with the IRS in 2019, alleging that the church violated its tax-exempt status by stockpiling money and misleading its members. According to Nielsen, Ensign Peak Advisors has amassed more than $100 billion in assets since it was created in 1997. The money comes from the tithes and donations that the church collects from its 17 million members, who are expected to contribute about 10% of their income. The church expects members to participate in tithing by contributing about 10% of their income. Tithing is used to pay the church's bills and fund the church's programs. Whatever is left over, about $1 billion a year, is put into a reserve fund at Ensign Peak and invested. As a registered nonprofit, those investments grow tax-free, Nielsen said. But instead of using the money for charitable works, as required by IRS rules, the church has been saving it for a rainy day. Nielsen said he was told by his bosses that the fund was meant to prepare for the second coming of Jesus Christ. Nielsen also claimed that the church used some of the money from Ensign Peak to bail out 2 businesses with ties to the church, a mall project and an insurance company. In 2013, he said he saw a document that showed $1.4 billion from Ensign Peak went to a mall being built on land owned by the church. Another $600 million was used to help prop up a for-profit, church-owned insurance company called Beneficial Life. Nielsen said he was shocked and disturbed by these transactions, which he believed violated the law and betrayed the trust of the church members. He decided to speak out and report his findings to the IRS, hoping that the agency would investigate and hold the church accountable. The church has denied Nielsen's allegations, saying they are flat-out wrong. The church said it has followed all tax laws and used its funds appropriately. It also said it has spent billions of dollars on humanitarian aid, education, and other charitable causes over the years. But Nielsen is not convinced. He said he wants the church to be transparent and honest with its members and the public about how it uses its money. He also wants the church to pay taxes on its investment income, like any other business. Nielsen said he does not regret blowing the whistle on the church, even though he has faced backlash and criticism from some of his former colleagues and friends. He said he did it because he loves his faith and wants it to live up to its values.